Back with first trades right here in ET Now. It's an all-time high day for the equity markets, not just the Nifty, but the Nifty small cap, Nifty mid cap index as well. And considering it's Friday, and the festive cheer is pretty much out there, and the fervor as well. It's the same pretty much for the box office too. You've got two mega movies which have launched. That's Animal, starring Ranbir Kapoor as well as Anil Kapoor. And then, of course, you've got Sam Bahadur as well. That's Vicky Kaushal for you. So let's try and understand what could it do to the dynamics of the movie industry, the box office, and, of course, leaders like PVR Inox. Abneesh Roy joins in on the show right now. Abneesh, hi, morning. Tell me, we are seeing those collection figures, or rather the pre-booking figures already, and it seems like it's going to be a robust one for both these movies. Which have you already pre-booked for?
Yes, thanks. So we are quite positive on PVR Inox. So we have a target price of 22.10. So we saw very strong Q2 with all kind of records being broken in terms of the box office, in terms of the SPH, food and beverage revenue. But after that, because of the World Cup, there was a lull. But now in December, the World Cup is done and dusted. So we expect out of the two movies which you mentioned, we expect much higher revenue from Animal. Sam Bahadur is also a reasonable film, but based on our channel checks, Animal should do multiple time revenue versus Sam Bahadur. The initial reviews for Animal also have been decent, and the advanced collection data is very good. So we expect that this could be one of the highest grossing in the recent times in the top few movies. And after that, it will be based on word of mouth. And clearly what we are seeing is two things. One is now North India and South India kind of collaboration is happening. So if you see for this movie also, the director, the star cast are all a mix of from different parts of the country. That really leads to the demand from viewership being from pan-India. Plus the movie is releasing across multiple languages. So we see that that is the trend which is really helping. Second is before Q2, there were 3-4 quarters which were very tough for the movie industry. So that made the industry go back to the drawing table and address the content issues, do marketing in a much more localized manner, and definitely address that the visual effect, the screenplay, everything is top notch, which was not the case earlier. So there has been a course correction in the industry. And last point is definitely in terms of the Hollywood content issue, in terms of the strike, etc. That also is resolved. So in our view, December month could be as good as the August month. Initial data is very strong. But in the coming quarters, further synergy benefit will also pan out for PVR Inox because full benefit hasn't come. At the back end, still a lot of work is happening. So we remain quite positive. This is almost like a monopolistic consumption play. So we expect a strong upside in the stock from a medium-term perspective.
Hi, morning. Have you pre-booked any of these movies? Are you excited as well and jumping on the bandwagon to get the tickets?
Yes, definitely. I'm excited by both the movies. And after that, we have got Dunki, Salar, Aquaman, Lost Kingdom. So yes, Sam Bahadur and Animal both should do well, but Animal should do far, far better because the kind of hysteria we have seen in terms of advanced ticket booking, in terms of all the social media, definitely that seems much more exciting. But yeah, Sam Bahadur also definitely differentiated content. So it should also build up based on the word of mouth. But yes, now the pipeline of movies is there strong every week. In Q4, of course, always the exam season is there. But definitely on a YOY basis, even in Q4, numbers will be far better.
There's a stellar lineup for the month of December. So, Abneesh, let's understand. I know you were saying that this is positive for PVR Inox, but given the fact that in the previous quarter as well, we did see a very smart bounce back when it came to the occupancy growth in terms of F&B spends, how much further do you see their occupancies or footfalls getting accelerated in light of all of these stellar lineups?
Yes, and PVR Inox have taken a lot of proactive steps. So if you remember the weekday 99 offer, and then they came out with a passport program also. In our view, passport program will see tweaks. That was the initial launch at 699 for 10 movies. My sense is tweaks will be needed. There are a lot of conditions attached, And in India, customer doesn't like too many conditions. It has to be a simpler promotional program. So we expect that occupancy for movies like Animal will be extremely high. If you see in the pre-pandemic, when PVR used to have good quarters, it was around 32% kind of occupancy. But the good thing is, because of the COVID, etc., the cost structure has been very rationalized. And because two large companies have come together, for the same 32% occupancy, company has delivered 433 bips higher EBITDA margin. So clearly productivity gains are happening and further will happen because of two reasons. One, advertising income is the highest margin business for any multiplex. That has still not recovered to pre-COVID. Our sense is by Q1, Q2 of FY25, full recovery in advertising revenue will happen. And secondly, as I said, at the back end, in terms of synergy benefit, further work is still happening. So that will also drive more expansion. So yes, occupancy should be quite high. I think in these kind of movies, it could be upwards of 40% also. But on an overall quarter, that's the important number. So December month should be very high occupancy, just like August month. But yes, first initial part of the Q3, that was weak. So we have to see the full quarter. But definitely for Animal, etc., we expect very strong occupancy. Then the word of mouth will be very important.
Yep, and what about ad revenue? Do you see that the recovery there will be a lot more gradual in comparison?
So ad revenue is a function of two things for any multiplex. One is the performance of movies has to be consistently good. Because unlike print, where say readership data comes regularly, for TV, the viewership data comes very regularly. In box office, there is no currency of viewership measurement. So the advertiser has to have full confidence that the movie issues which were there in the last 2 years, when customer was not going to the movie halls because content in Hindi was quite weak, that confidence comes when there is a consistency in terms of good content. So we have seen that that's happening in fits and starts. For example, Q2 was very good, but after that again there was a lull. But that was more because of World Cup. When the Cricket World Cup is happening, India winning 9 matches back to back, and definitely happening after many years in India. That was a thing when a lot of content did not launch and customer was staying at home. So I will say yes, definitely we do expect that now the numbers definitely should improve in terms of even advertising income. But second is, of course, consumer companies are seeing improvement in gross margin, EBITDA margin, and more launches are happening. That will also drive advertising income. But full recovery versus pre-COVID on a per screen basis, we expect by Q1, Q2 only of next year.
All right, good to have you on board. Thanks so much for joining in and giving us more perspective. Yes, two big releases lined up for today, and we understand that Animal has already garnered 34 crores in advance booking for the first day, with Sam Bahadur getting advance tickets accumulating to about 20.3 crore rupees.